Now, of course, this isn't another one of these big political videos that I wanted to do on the day. This is just simply a funny meme that the Department of Homeland Security posted to Twitter a couple of days ago. I think, yeah, it was at the beginning of the week, and I don't have any sound playing on this one, so don't worry about it because, well, it's got the Pokemon theme song underneath of it, using that song and a couple of stills from the anime to, just reinforce their modus operandi moving forward, that they're out there trying to catch them all. And well, it's absolutely hilarious. As you can see, 60 million views on this one because it's quite not so much original, but it is very funny and very effective, and especially what they do here in a couple of seconds in regards to showing you the type of people that they're taking off the streets. Because, as much as we need to abolish ICE, I would think probably getting rid of the people that are coming across the border illegally, I think getting rid of them, abolishing them, all of these awful people with their own unique Pokemon cards, I think that would be maybe a little bit more important. But then again, who am I to say that hilarious parody cannot be effective? The fact that all of their weaknesses, as denoted on their cards, is ice type is fucking hilarious. Yo, this is some amazing memeage. Remember how the Biden administration tried to make Dark Brandon a theme? Like, this is just next level stuff. And then you got, Border Patrol out there with the fucking Detective Pikachu clip. Oh my god, it's absolutely great. And then, they're responding with, like, Pokeball clip. It's high tier hilarious, but, for as much as you and I might get a good laugh out of this, when I first seen the video, I was like, ooh, you're playing the entire theme song, huh? Uninterrupted and not really remixed or anything like that. You might end up running afoul of one of the more litigious companies in the world, and that, in fact, would be Nintendo. But the Pokemon Company's former chief legal officer has said he would not take action over an official Department of Homeland Security video that features footage of people being handcuffed and arrested set to the Pokemon theme tune, despite calls from fans for the corporation to sue. Because, big corporations are really bad unless, of course, they align with our beliefs. Then, by all means, clamp down on the Orange Man and all of his, fascistic underlings, fucking hacks. But yes, Nintendo's kind of a scumbag company. In case you haven't been aware for a while, they will just go ahead and make stupid decisions, and most recently, their legal battle with Pocketpair, the creators of the Palworld game, has been particularly disgusting, revealing some of the patents that they have, trying to say that they own the license to catching wild animals, even though you got the Dragon Warrior franchise over here going, well, thanks for, lifting a lot of our character designs and some of our other mechanics, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. But we have another development right here that could end up having even wider ranging effects, not just going against and trying to take down Palworld, but Nintendo's out here arguing against modding. Bro, we know that the Switch 2 isn't doing the numbers that you would like it to, but do you have to take it out on the rest of the gaming industry? But Nintendo argues mods should not count as prior art in Pocketpair patent lawsuit. The company reportedly claims mods are not games, as they cannot run independently. Oh no, it's not just greedy, it's also retarded. But Nintendo has argued that mods should not count as prior art in its patent lawsuit against Palworld developer Pocketpair. According to GamesFray, which sent a neutral person to inspect the Nintendo v Pocketpair case, and Nintendo does not want mods to be recognized as prior art in the lawsuit, which the publication explained is previously published material that could be held against its patents. In February of 2025, Pocketpair filed multiple preparatory briefs, according to GamesFray, arguing that Nintendo's patent lawsuit shouldn't have been granted as there was prior art before the relevant proprietary, a date that already covered what Nintendo claimed to have invented. Pocketpair's invalidity argument pointed to a number of mods as proof of this, including Dark Souls 3 meets Pokemon mod, Pocket Souls, Pixelmon mod for Minecraft, and the Nukamon mod for Fallout 4. Nintendo has argued, however, that mods are not prior art and they cannot run independently, unlike the games that they run on. This does not convince us that the patent law point of view, from a patent law point of view, GamesFray said. The question is not whether a gamer who sees a game would likely use a mod or the other way around. What matters is whether game makers looking for inspiration would turn to mods. Of course they would. The judge in the case would decide whether mods do in fact count as prior art. But GamesFray reports that its sister site, IPFray, noted that courts usually reject these attempts to narrow the pool for prior art references in unreasonable ways. And in greater summation of the situation, as it is laid out here, Nintendo demands Palworld remove mod support, claiming it's illegal. Nintendo asserts that Palworld's mods expose developers to lawsuits unless removed. They are also suing over the Pokemon mod, alleging Palworld's success relies on stolen Pokemon art. And then, as summarized by Legal Mindset, Nintendo needs to be stopped. This precedent would kill the modding community. The decision of whether or not to allow mods rests solely with Palworld, but Palworld is not and should not be liable for whatever happens as a result of modding, nor should Pokemon control that. Exactly, because it's been a while since I played any of them, but some of the ROM hacks that are out there, especially for like the Fire Red and Leaf Green, I really, really like. They're a lot of fun to play. And they helped, especially at the time, reinvigorate my enthusiasm for the franchise, and it ended up getting me back into Pokemon, picking up a 3DS. At the time, these were like the newest games that were coming out, getting X and Y, and Omega Red, and Alpha Sapphire, and Sun and Moon, but then that's about when I pieced out because all of this shit was just getting really, really sloppy. But the greed of Nintendo, man, it's just, it never ceases to amaze. And there's another similar situation going on right now between the Tencent, oh god, what was it, the Light of Motron, and Sony taking offense because it bears a striking similarity to that of their, their most cherished of burgeoning IPs. Horizon did a video on that one, and the similarities there, they're a lot closer, I would argue, than Palworld and Pokemon, but even that lawsuit, that one seems to be stuck at a standstill and not moving forward at all whatsoever, meaning that, Sony doesn't really have a case there because there's enough similarities there and enough differentiation to go forward with the idea that, Horizon was an inspiration, but this is a wholly different situation. And in the case of Palworld, I really hope that Pocketpair prevails over Nintendo, mostly. Get Nintendo to focus on fixing their fucking stagnant titles. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.